Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I hope you all are well. So today we're going to be talking about my near-death experience. But before I carry on, if possible and you would like to, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified when I upload new videos. So I want to take you back to when I was younger. I remember around the age of 8 I would see colours, because obviously I didn't know the language back then, so I would see colours, and my parents took me to Moorfields Eye Hospital in London, and they confirmed that there was nothing wrong with my eyes. And I remember my nan being in fits of laughter because she said, I told you it was aura she was seeing, it was energy. So yeah, that was quite funny, and it was very much how my family were. Spiritual talking wasn't a taboo in our family. We spoke about ghosts, and my nan would speak about her experiences from when she was a child living in London, and yeah, we was never really scared. It was great. And then I remember when I was 16, oh actually no, sorry, before then, I remember, and this was it wasn't spiritual as such, or I didn't realise it was at the time, but I remember saying things, and one of the conversations that really stands out was I was about 12, and I remember saying to my mum, yeah, I know it's grass, because obviously that's what the label is, that's what we all call it to communicate, and obviously it's language. But I said, but the thing is though, we don't really know what it is. We don't really know what anything is. All we know is the labels, but we don't really know. And that's what and I was very much in touch with my inner being, my, the feeling, my presence. But I didn't know, and I didn't have anybody really to help. I mean, although my nan was a spiritual medium and she understood about energy and things like that, but there was something more. And at school I wasn't very academic, so I was left basically to get on with it. And then around the age of 16 I joined spiritualist church with my nan, because my nan did a lot of readings there and would work in the open and closed circles, development circles. But then when I was 18 I had my daughter, and then I split with her dad, and a few years later I found my husband, and we got married and had 3 children. But the boys were all diagnosed with autism, ADHD and globally delayed. So they're all adults now, but it was very hard. And it is hard for parents that have got neurodiverse children, especially those that are violent. So I do what I can to offer help and guidance with things that helped for me. I was diagnosed many years ago with post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of that relates to what we dealt with regards to the boys, with the violence and things. But even to this day, we still care for the boys. They can't do anything independently. Me and my husband, we don't go out, because the boys just can't be left on their own. It would be, in what they would say in professional terms, a safeguarding issue. But that's, it is what it is. And then as the boys got older, I started getting back into my spiritual things. I done my witchcraft, and I sold healing crystals. I still do, and help others with their issues. I do readings and Reiki. So that was all going fantastically well, and then I found out that I had rheumatic fever as a child, and I basically had heart failure. So they needed to operate quickly. The surgeon said to me that you've got two choices. You either have the mechanical heart valve and have the open heart surgery, or you've got 12 months to live. And with the boys and my daughter and my grandchildren and all my family and all my loved ones, that just wasn't an option. So obviously I chose to have the open heart surgery. But then it all started about 2 weeks before. I noticed that the mind had fallen silent. There was no thoughts. There was no... the voice in the head that sounds like, with your own voice, had gone. There was nothing there. I wasn't scared of the operation. I had no thoughts about it at all. I just felt this overwhelming sense of love and oneness. So I had the operation. I'd gone in the night before. I was happy, laughing and joking with the nurses. There was no anxiety, no fear, nothing. I absolutely knew that I was going to be okay. That knowing, just, the knowing that you're here, that you're alive. That knowing, I knew that I was going to be okay. And then I was in critical care after the operation, and the nurse said that there was a few issues with my breathing. I was high risk anyway, and then I was put onto a recovery ward, but I was in a room by myself, and I just remember closing my eyes, and this memory came, but it wasn't like a memory from years ago. It was like it happened yesterday. And I remember being in this field of this amazing grass and wild flowers, and they were so vibrant. And what I noticed more so was that I didn't feel separate from the grass or the flowers. I didn't feel separate from anything. It all felt like me. And as I was walking, these three light beings came, and there was a table in front, and on the table it looked like glass, but when you looked into it, it had all sort of like floating memories of my past and conversations I'd had with my children and all these different things. And then the being that was in the middle, he said to me, you chose your parents and you chose all your experiences. And then another being said to me that we have thousands of incarnations learning different things and having different experiences, but we will keep having those incarnations until we wake up to our true nature and who we really are. And I said, well, what happens once you realise who you really are? And the response was, will you go up then to a higher dimension, a higher frequency, but it's not a physical planet. It's not a dense, physical, low-level planet like Earth. Well, they called it Earth School. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. But what do I do now? And a being said, well, you've got to go back now and you've got to carry on your mission. And I remember just thinking, well, but what's my mission? And then I heard the being say, to serve others. And I just remember just sitting there, just remembering these images and these feelings, and it was just absolutely incredible. So I just want to say actually that the reason why I don't do videos with seeing me talking is because I want to be the voice. I want you to hear my words, and I want you to listen and to feel what resonates with what I'm saying. And it's not that I don't want to be judged by, my appearance, or I don't care about any of that. I have no thoughts or feelings about that. That's not my problem. The only reason why I do this way is because I want you to feel that it's coming from my heart. I want you to understand that I don't script anything. I don't sit here and prepare what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do. Whatever comes. Whatever words I say, they're coming directly from something much bigger than me, the personality. So that was my experience and my knowing now of who I am and who you are. Jesus once said, and I'm not a religious person, but Jesus once said, love thy neighbour. And I think the next bit, something like as if it was yourself. And what he means by that is that once you know who you really are, once you know your true nature, there is no other. So when you hate or judge your neighbour, you're hate or judging their ego, not the truth of who they are. And most people, probably like 95% of the whole world's population, are coming completely from their ego. They're completely trapped in the identification of their form and of their mind. So you're not really interacting with the truth of their being. But I see you, and I see the truth of your being, no matter what. And I want you to know that you are so loved. And you're here for a reason too. listen to your soul. Listen. Go within and just stay in silence. I will be posting videos on how to do this, how to connect with your soul, how to sit in silence. But for now, namaste.